Now, in order to realize this truth, in order to understand it, realize it, make it a living reality for ourselves, there are certain prakriyas, there are certain methodologies. The Upanishads, which are the foundational texts, the root texts of Vedanta, they provide the source material for these prakriyas, these methodologies, techniques of self-realization. Drigdrishya Viveka, Panchakosha, Vichara, Avasthatraya Vichara, which is our subject today. These are various kinds of procedures, methodologies. You might even call them pointing devices to point us towards the truth. And this truth is hidden from us. It's hidden from us by ignorance, and only through knowledge we will be able to realize it. What these prakriyas do, they take up our experience. Which experience? Our ordinary experience. The method which we will look at today, the three states of being, the waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. Who does not know? We all have. Right now we are awake. We all know what are dreams. We all know what is deep sleep. All of us have it. Based on this, Vedanta develops a prakriya, a methodology called Avasthatraya Vichara. It's an inquiry into the self, into our real self, an inquiry for realizing our true nature based on waking, dreaming, deep sleep. Something which is available to everybody, for which you don't have to do any kind of specialized spiritual practice. So this is a method of self-inquiry based on already available experience. So the prakriya we will take up today is from the Mandukya Upanishad, which is the shortest and probably the most powerful of all the Upanishads. Somebody said it's like, in Bengali we say dhani lanka, the green chili, which is a small one, which is very hot, short, small, but very hot. Similarly, the Mandukya Upanishad is the shortest of the Upanishads with only 12 mantras, but is very powerful. There is a saying, Mandukyam ekameva alam mumukshunam vimuktaye. The Mandukya Upanishad by itself is sufficient to give moksha to those who are seeking moksha. So this Mandukya Upanishad is built around the Avasthatraya Vichara. Not because we are interested in waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. Vedanta is actually not interested in waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. No, it uses these things to point out the truth which underlies all of them. These things are used as a technique for pointing out waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. Sometimes people, so much discussion about waking, dreaming, deep sleep. So people immediately get easily misled. They say, so we had this dream, and in this dream I saw such and such thing. Vedanta is not interested in your dreams. Vedanta is not even interested in your waking experiences. Vedanta is interested in the dreamer, in the consciousness to which the dream is appearing, in the consciousness to which the waking world is appearing, in the consciousness to which the darkness of deep sleep is appearing. Vedanta is not interested in the contents of our experience, is interested in the experiencer, the real nature of the experiencer. Vedanta is actually interested in us. It's interested in me and wants to show me my real nature. What is the purpose of all of this? Atyantika dukkha nivritti paramananda prapti. Complete cessation or transcendence of suffering and attainment of fulfillment, bliss, paramananda. That is the goal. And that goal is attained by realizing our true nature. So let's take a quick look at the methodology of the three states, Avasthatraya Vichara. First is, look at your experience which you are having now. This is Jagrat. So this which we are experiencing right now, what are we experiencing? Here is the body, the physical body. And I am this conscious being, embodied being. And with my instruments of knowledge, with the eyes, I see forms. With ears, I hear sounds. I smell and I taste and I touch. I feel the touch and pressure and warmth and cold. And this is my experience of the physical world. I can experience a physical world around me. This is our experience of the world. This is how we are experiencing the world. This is called Jagrat Avastha. And here I, the self, a technical name is given, Vishwa. Who is Vishwa? All of us, each of us. When we are awake, the name given by the Upanishad is that you are the waker, Vishwa, who through the sense organs contacts a physical universe. And here I am experiencing this external world. This is called Jagrat Avastha. I am the experiencer, the waker in the waking world, the waking self called Vishwa. But this is not the only aspect of my experience. When I fall asleep, I dream. Notice a peculiar thing happens when I fall asleep. I, who seem to be so well settled in this body, so as to say, I am this body and this body is me. I don't seem to think that I am anything apart from this body. Yet, every day. Notice what an interesting thing happens. When we fall asleep, from our own perspective, I lose sight of this physical body. I have no more awareness of this physical body. I have a world of dreams. When I wake up, I call them dreams. But when in the middle of the dreams, I don't call them dreams. In the middle of the dreams, they feel very real. During the time of the dream, it feels pretty real. I don't feel that I am dreaming generally. So in that dream, I'm no longer aware of the body, which is sleeping on the bed. I'm not aware of that body at all. I'm aware of a dream world. And in that world, I have a body, very much like my own body. And there I am, I'm thinking, I'm talking, I'm interacting with others. Good and bad things are happening. So it's an entirely different conscious experience, continues from the waking to the dream world. Yet the whole thing is changed. Time frame is changed, space is changed. Physically, my body might be sleeping on the bed here in Manhattan. And in my dream, I might be visiting Mysore, different space. Here it may be in 2021, and I may be visiting Mysore somewhere, some memory of my past, maybe 5 years ago. Different time, different place, different body, different environment, entirely different avastha. And there I am. Consciously, I feel I am experiencing that. That experiencer, that person in the dream world, which I feel I am, that one is called the dreamer or the dream self. And there's a special name given, Taijasa. This is a second aspect. The Swapna Avastha, with its Swapna world and Swapna time and space, and of course many Swapnas, one after another. And there I exist as a self experiencing that world. And this is called dream self or Taijasa. Swapna Avastha. This is the second aspect of the self. Again, note, we all know this. There's nothing new here. We all experience it every day almost. And then there is a third state which we are familiar, deep sleep. Neither the external world is experienced, nor are dreams experienced. And there is no division, anything whatsoever that I am experiencing something, not even that I am in deep sleep. If I feel I am in deep sleep, then I'm not in deep sleep. I have no feeling of myself as a separate individual experiencing anything. It's all merged into a mass of darkness. So this state, this is called the deep sleep state. It's a state of darkness, of not knowing anything. Yet we are there, because that's why we speak about it. When we wake up, we say, I dreamt, and there was nothing for some time. There was nothing for some time. Every language has this expression about deep sleep. In English, I slept like a log. In Bengali, we have a saying that ghumiye kada, like slept like mud. Now you have to understand Bengal climate, that it is very hot and humid. So if you go to sleep, especially in the afternoon, you'll wake up all sweaty. And that's why the term used is ghumiye kada, sleeping like mud. All of these expressions, you have it in every language. All of these expressions, they point to an experience. Otherwise, why are there expressions like that? It's an experience. Experience does not stop in deep sleep. So the deep sleep is a kind of experience of nothingness, of blankness. And that is called the Sushupti Avastha. And the self, which is there, which is not differentiated there, but the self, which is undifferentiated there in deep sleep, is called Pragya. A technical term is given. The deep sleep self is called Pragya. That is the third aspect of the self. Which self? I, myself. This is our experience. Again and again, we must remind ourselves, nothing extraordinary is being talked about here. The Upanishad is just repeating our experience. And we acknowledge, yes, I have a waking experience. Yes, I have dream experiences. Yes, I go into deep sleep once in a while. So these three states are pointed out to us and labeled. There is the waker, who experiences a physical world through sense organs. We fall asleep, and there is the dreamer, who experiences a dream world in the mind entirely. Then there is the deep sleeper, where the mind shuts down, retreats into a potential state, a seed state, a bija avastha, and the experience is one of blankness, no differentiation. I am experiencing something, that duality does not exist. But it comes back again. It's all there in a potential state. That's why it's called a bija avastha. Everything sprouts back again. The moment we wake up, again, the world is back. I'm still the same person. So it was all like a computer in a hibernation, or when you shut down a computer, all the information, all the programs and applications, everything is there. You just switch it on again, it comes back. Now we cycle through these every day.
So when you are awake, the mind is fully functional, connected to the body, your consciousness illumines this fully functional mind connected to the body. When we sleep and dream, we lose touch with the sleeping body, but in our minds we generate a world of dreams, and consciousness illumines that world of dreams. And when the mind shuts down in deep sleep, consciousness illumines the darkness of deep sleep.
This consciousness, we're going to discover how it is avastha traya sakshi. Witness of three avastha, three states of experience. Those three states of experience are Jagrat, which is waking state, Swapna, which is the dream state, and Sushupti, which is the deep sleep state. This is one of the extremely important topics in Vedanta. There's one Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, which is dedicated to this one topic. Think about it. The whole Upanishad. It's a short one, but this is the main topic for that particular Upanishad. Now, what does it mean to be the Jagrat Avastha Sakshi, the observer of whatever happens while you're awake? Big deal. That you know very well. You're observing whatever is happening right now in the room. Good. That's nothing surprising. Now, what happens in the evening? You go to bed and you sleep and you dream. Now, here's an interesting question. The one who observes your waking experience in Jagrat Avastha and the one who observes your dreams in Swapna Avastha, are they different? What is your experience? Your experience says you are the same observer of whatever happens while you're awake. You are the same observer of whatever happens when you're dreaming. It's not that there are two different observers, the same Sakshi Chaitanya.
Basically, you know what happens in these three states, waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. It's like one and the same person. That person goes and opens the door of the windows of his house and trades with the world. He sells goods, he gets in goods. After some time, he shuts the shutters, goes into his living room, switches on the TV and watches a TV program. After some time, switches off the TV, goes to his bedroom and goes to sleep. Now it's the same person, the one who's the businessman dealing with the world. When in the waking state, that's what we are doing. We are dealing with the world. We get inputs from the world and we send inputs back into the world. We act and we react. And in dream state, what happens is we shut down the shutters of the senses and retreat within ourselves and watch TV in our minds. Switch on the dreams and you watch that. Same consciousness. And then after some time, the TV is also switched off. Dreams are also switched off. And this consciousness retreats into the deep sleep state. The mind goes into deep sleep and the consciousness is still the same. Just like the same person was the businessman dealing with the world, was the TV watcher, and is the person sleeping in the bed. It's the same person. In the same way, it's the same consciousness which we are, which cycles through these three states of experience, waking, dreaming, and deep sleep.
When we are sleeping at the night, then also we exist, but we do not have knowledge of our body that time, but we are there, we exist. Sleep is nothing but forgetting the body and everything related to the body. We forget that and then that is sleep. So when we are sleeping, forgetting the body, that means we are different from the body. That is why that seer who is experiencing the wakeful state, the dreaming state, and the dreamless state, same person is experiencing all three, and we are that experiencer, the seer. And the outside, that is the body, we are not that. That has been imposed on us.
And you might remember from a prior discussion that your mind can be in one of three conditions: waking state, dream state, or deep sleep. Waking state is Jagrat Avastha for our Sanskrit scholars out there. Dream state is Swapna Avastha, and deep sleep is Sushupti Avastha. Your mind will be in one of these three conditions at all times. And the three conditions, three states of your mind, All of that is illumined by consciousness. Consciousness shines upon your mind, reveals the activities of your mind in all three states. In the waking state, right now, your consciousness reveals what's happening in your mind right now. Tonight, when you're dreaming, consciousness will reveal whatever you're dreaming about. But then, in those periods of dreamless sleep, consciousness reveals the absence of activity in your mind. Very important. We discussed at length how consciousness, like the sun goes on shining at all times, even when a dark cloud obscures the sun goes on shining. The sun never ceases to shine. In the same way, consciousness never ceases to illumine your mind. Consciousness ceaselessly illumines the activities of your mind when you're awake. Consciousness illumines the activities of your mind while you're dreaming. And consciousness illumines the lack of activity in your mind during deep, dreamless sleep.
So who are you? So this is very interesting that we know so many things about others, but we don't know practically anything about who am I. And even if you say who am I, you will talk about this physical body. But when you sleep at night, who is sleeping? Body? Body sleeps. So that means you are not the body because you are still awake. You are seeing dreams, right? You are seeing dreams, so you are not sleeping. Because when you wake up, you say, oh, I saw this nice dream. So body was not seeing the dream, you are seeing. And you even speak like that I saw this nice dream. And you are not aware of your body. It's like now you are aware of your body. You are saying, I am this. But when you are sleeping, who are you? Because at that time also you are existing, but you are not aware of your own body. So that means you are not the body. Otherwise, who is seeing the dream? Now when you are awake, you can say, well, this whole thing is me and I'm talking, I'm walking. But when you sleep, this whole thing is not you, because this whole thing is just lying on the bed and you may be flying to wherever, So that means there is something which is separate from this body. And to that you refer as I, because you say, I saw the dream. So that means there is something certainly separate from this body which also has the feeling of I. So now you understand that this knowledge of who am I, this is very important. Because you want to be happy, but can you be happy when you don't even know who you are? To truly understand what is I, you have to study Bhagavad Gita, very important book spoken by Sri Krishna. So this I has to be understood. That is the center of all knowledge. So just like the car is there and the car driver is there, car driver is different from the car. So you are separate from your body. And as I said, that when you sleep at night, you always experience it that I am not the body. Everybody has this experience, but nobody thinks about it.
Think about it. Throughout our day, right now, here is this body. The moment I go to sleep, the body disappears from my awareness. The body is in the bed, I am not aware of it. I am aware of a dream world in which I have a dream body and I do dream things in the dream world. What continues? Consciousness. You are aware. The awareness continues from the waking state into the sleep state, into the dream state. The body is left behind from your awareness.
Everything we experience happens in the waking dream or deep sleep state. Jagrat, waking state, Swapna, dream, and Sushupti, dreamless sleep. Every experience we have falls into one or the other of those experiences. So, Avasthatraya Sakshi, the one who witnesses whatever happens in the three states of experience. Right now, you are experiencing whatever is happening in your mind. Your mind happens to be in a waking state. Whatever your waking mind is doing is known to you. To you as Sakshi. Sakshi means a awareful witness, conscious observer. You are that consciousness by which the waking activities of your mind is known. You are the consciousness by which the dreams of your mind are known. You are the consciousness by which the darkness and ignorance of your mind in deep sleep is known. You are that conscious observer, that awareful witness, that avasthatraya sakshi. Please note that this is not a philosophical principle. This is an explanation of your own experience right now, and it's incontrovertible. Who can say otherwise? Avasthatraya sakshi. It is such a fundamental definition to understand that you are that avasthatraya sakshi, because you are definitely the sakshi, the witness of whatever takes place in jagrat, waking state, swapna, dream state, and sushupti, when you're dreamless. So whatever you experience falls into these three avasthas, three states of experience, waking, dream, and deep sleep. And the most fundamental definition of you as Atma is the one who knows what's happening. What's happening while you're awake right now? What happens when you're dreaming? What happens when there's no dream? You are the one who knows what's happening. We call that one the Sakshi, the awareful witness. Awareful witness of what? Avasthatraya, of the three states of experience, waking, dream, and sleep.
What Vedānta is telling us is, you're no more the body than you are the mind. You are the observer of both. You are the illuminator of both. You are the consciousness in which the body-mind events take place. The very experience of body and mind arises in your consciousness, subsists in your consciousness, and fades away in your consciousness. When every day in the night, when we go to sleep, we completely become unaware of the physical body. If I were the body, then my consciousness would be so tied to the body that even when I'm sleeping, I would have the feeling, the awareness that I am a body sleeping on the bed. But I don't do that. I dream, and in my dreams I go all over the world and have different experiences in the dream. Which means somehow the consciousness is not tied to this body. The body can exist and the consciousness can go on imagining and experiencing things without being aware of the body, as in a dream every day. So the consciousness which is aware of the body is actually not tied to the body.
As the day wears on and evening comes, we go to sleep. And this whole world disappears from your experience, from our experience. The whole world disappears. Even the fact that I'm lying down on the bed and sleeping, that disappears from my awareness. Now the world of dreams comes. And you experience people and places and activities in dreams. Dreams arise and disappear. The same consciousness which illumined the waking is the same consciousness illumining the dreams also. You are the one, that same consciousness, that same awareness is also experiencing the various objects seen in the dream. Yes, they are imagined objects. They are unstable objects. Dream experiences may be different from waking. But consciousness is not different. It doesn't differ. I who experience the waking, I am the one who is dreaming. That's all. Dreams are very different from waking. The consciousness is not different. It's the same consciousness. And notice the very interesting thing. In the dream, when we experience things in the dream, we are not experiencing this body which is lying on the bed and sleeping. Phenomenologically, internally, we have completely lost track of this physical body. Consciousness is constant. But this body, you lose track of it. It's a very interesting thing in the dream. That means we can conceive of, philosophically speaking, we can conceive of a continuity of my own subjective experience without reference to this body. We naturally think, I am this body. Well, in dreams you don't do that. You have so many dream experiences. At no point do you refer to this body sleeping on the bed. In dreams, whatever is going on, one thing is constant, that consciousness continues. That same consciousness, it continues in the dream state also. And it experiences various objects in the dream. External world is not experienced, even body is not experienced. Certain dream objects are experienced, and the consciousness continues. It's the same consciousness.
consciousness is the same. The one which experienced the waking world is the one, that consciousness, that awareness is experiencing the dream world. In all three states, waking, dreaming, deep sleep, these are not states of consciousness. These are states of the mind. Waking is a particular state of the mind, dreaming is another state of the mind, deep sleep is a kind of switched off or dormant state of the mind, seed state they call it. In all three states, consciousness is constant. And this is the story of one day in our lives, consciousness experiencing a waking world, consciousness experiencing dreams, consciousness experiencing deep sleep, the absence of the waking world and the absence of dreams. And then again, wake up. This is our life. What happens next day? Same thing. And the day after? Same thing. You'll wake, you'll dream, you'll sleep. And more importantly, consciousness will shine. And that's what we are. We are this awareness, this consciousness. Generally, we don't doubt this, but we generally say, yeah, I'm this body with awareness, with a mind and awareness. But here we are being asked to see that we are this awareness, this consciousness with a mind and body. Occasionally the body is not experienced. In dreams, this body is not experienced. In deep sleep, this body is not experienced. Even the mind is not experienced occasionally. In deep sleep. In waking, the mind is experienced. In dreams, the mind is experienced. In deep sleep, the mind is not experienced. Yet you continue to exist and shine undiminished, unaffected by the occasional daily disappearance of the mind. You are not the body. You are not the mind. Our states change. Waking fades into sleep and dream. Dream fades into deep sleep. And from deep sleep, we wake up again. The states are changing. In Sanskrit, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. Waking, dreaming, deep sleep, again waking. You do not change. You are the unchanged observer of the changing states. You have absolutely no doubt about one thing, that you exist. By what light do you know that? That is the light of the self. That is consciousness. That is awareness. Call it sentience, awareness, consciousness. Quite different from the mind. Quite different from the mind. Mind is thoughts, emotions, ideas. The presence of thoughts, emotions, ideas is revealed by the light which you are. The absence of thoughts, emotions, ideas is revealed by the light which you are. It is the light functioning through the body, mind and body, which reveals our waking world, what we are experiencing now. It is the same light when you have gone to sleep, forgotten that you are lying down on your bed. It is the same light which shines in the mind and illumines your dreams. And when all dreams cease, we sink into deep sleep, the silence of deep sleep. It is the same light which reveals the absence of things. The absence of the external world, the absence of dreams. Nothingness. That nothingness is revealed by the same light. In deep sleep, you, the light, are still there. You experience the absence of everything. That is, you experience as the darkness of deep sleep. All of that is revealed to us because of the light which you or I am. There are many nice stories about Ashtavakra and Janaka in the tradition. They are all transmitted word of mouth. So one story was this, that one day the Emperor Janaka, he went to sleep and suddenly late in the night he was awakened by a soldier, a guard. Sir, your highness, please wake up. We are under great danger. The enemy has attacked our empire. So the Janaka jumps out of his bed and he says, get me my armor, my sword and my bow and arrow, and call the cavalry and call the generals. Let's go out and fight this invader. And they go out and there's a terrible battle in which Janaka's army is defeated and poor Janaka is captured and dragged before the enemy, the invader. And the invader says, "Oh Janaka, you come of royal birth, so I will not execute you, I will not kill you, but I exile you from your kingdom. Go, leave this kingdom, this empire, it's mine now, I've conquered it." And so poor Janaka, he stumbles out of the tent of the invader. He's tired and wounded and bleeding, and desperately he goes from house to house, give me a little bit of water, give me a little bit of food. His own capital. People say, "Oh sire, we are so sorry, but the new emperor is tyrannical. We can't help you, he might kill us." And poor Janaka now, he can do nothing. He struggles onwards and onwards. Finally, he comes to the next kingdom, crosses the border. And as he crosses the border, he sees poor people being fed, like a soup kitchen. In India, it is khichdi, dal and rice together. And the big cauldron, and it's being served. And Janaka stands in the line. And when it is his turn, he's at the end of the queue. He comes forward. He can't take it anymore. He's tired and traumatized and deeply unhappy and depressed. And they give him a bowl, and they say that, well, it's all finished, but there's a little bit of gruel at the bottom of the cauldron. We can give it to you. You look like a good person fallen on hard days. And Janaka says, for the love of God, give me anything that you have. It's terrible. And they give him that one, and with trembling hand, he brings the bowl to his lips. A kite which was circling up there, it swoops down and knocks the bowl from his hand, which goes rolling in the dust. And Janaka cannot take it anymore. He collapses, falls in the dust, crying out. In Hindi, the story was ha ha kar karte hue, crying out ha ha. But ha ha in English is just the opposite of ha ha in Hindi. Yeah, that's the ha ha in English. In Hindi and in Sanskrit, ha ha means alas, alas. Crying out alas, Janaka collapses in the dust and sits up on his bed. And then he blinks, and the guard runs in and says, sir, did you shout? Did you call? Is anything wrong? And Janaka, now we would have said, oh, it was a nightmare. What did I eat before going to bed? But Janaka is a philosopher. He has had many, many Vedānta classes. So he says, was that true or is this true? Wo sach? Yeah, ye sach in Hindi. Wo sach? Yeah, ye sach. Was that true or is this true? And the guard is confused. He retreats in confusion. He goes and calls the queen. The queen comes, now what's wrong with you? And Janaka says, was that true or is this true? The queen is confused. Call the doctor. And the doctor comes and takes the pulse and says, Emperor, what is wrong? Does it hurt? Tell me, was that true or is this true? And that goes on. Next day, nothing is getting done in the court. And it spreads. There was no Twitter or Facebook or anything. But the grapevine is there. And it spreads across the city, the capital, that the emperor has gone crazy. And who is visiting the capital? But none other than the sage Ashtavakra, Janaka's teacher. He's walking down the market and he hears people gossiping. The emperor is crazy. He's lost his mind. He just keeps saying, was that true or is this true? And Ashtavakra says, I must visit my friend and disciple. And he goes to the court and he sees that the king is sitting there. His queen is there and the ministers are there and the generals are there and the officers. Nothing is getting done because they come up maybe with a bill or something like that. Emperor, please sign it. And he says, was that true or is this true? And everybody's confused. They don't know what to say. And Ashtavakra comes and says to the emperor, how are you today, emperor? And the emperor says, was that true or is this true? Ashtavakra, of course, he knows, he's a sage, so he knows what's in the emperor's mind. So he says, that horror, that defeat, that humiliation, that pain and suffering when you were rolling in the dust and crying, the ha-ha bit, all of that, is that here now? The emperor seems to come out of a stupor and says, no. And this, your glory, the queen and the generals and your army and your power and your empire and this throne, was all of this there when you were rolling in the dust there? Janaka says, no, this wasn't there and that is not here. Then, O emperor, neither that is true nor this is true. Na ye sach, na wo sach in Hindi. Now Janaka is horrified. Is nothing true? Then is nothing true. That is not true, this is not true, then nothing true, everything is false. Ashtavakra says, O emperor, there in the that was not true. It was a dream. That was not true. But did you experience it? Yes. So you were there. You, the experiencer, were there. Yes. And this is also not true. But are you experiencing it? That you cannot deny. Yes. You were there. And you are here. Yes. Then, O emperor, neither this is true nor that is true, but you are the truth. You are the truth. Na ye sach, na wo sach, tum hi sach. You means consciousness, not the body. Not the body, the healthy body of the emperor and the body which is wounded and rolling in the dust. Both cannot be true. Which one is true then? The mind of the defeated emperor and the mind of the emperor resplendent in all his might. That also cannot be true. The both are contradictory. But the awareness which experienced that is the same awareness experiencing this. That is one and unchanged. True or false, whatever it is, has to be experienced by that awareness. That awareness is the truth.